Hey, how you guys doing? It's producer from Brothers Comics. Welcome to the Who Day Over 40 podcast for long time, long suffering Cincinnati Bengals fans. Who Day, everybody? Man, oh man. It is Who Day Over 40 versus preseason concerns. We'll get to all of that here momentarily. On the line, it's my favorite running back, 2 yards of the college dusters. Big Coach, what's happening, man?
I'm trying to get 3 yards. Hello.
Yeah, man, we're recording on a Sunday morning. There's been some preseason football last couple of days. Browns backup quarterback took a shot at its other backup quarterback.
Browns are going brown.
Yeah, teams are playing their starters. Some are not. Some are there. Everybody's, oh, look at all these
Michael
good.
Penix.
Yeah, look at all these good rookie quarterbacks. But I mean, nobody really knows, man. That's a side brother topic here before we even get started. The bust out rate for quarterbacks anymore is, I wouldn't say non-existent, but you don't really see the massive bust like we used to. And I think it's just because the NFL is running college offense now. Would you agree with that?
That is definitely great.
Yeah.
Yeah. These young rookies now are. I mean, they are trained. They are being trained by professionals.
Hmm.
I mean, it's professional. I mean, and they're starting at like tennis now, where they're starting at 8, 9 years old, and they're semi professionals in college, and they're full professional when they get up here.
Yeah, yeah, it's just so weird now. It's just like, oh yeah, he was a bust, but he's still like in the league and a backup role or whatever. I was like, no, when dudes used to bust out, they used to bust out. Like
Right.
they gave him all this money, they couldn't play, and then they were out of the league. They weren't getting backup jobs, and you don't really
Right.
see that
Johnny
hardly
Manziel.
anymore.
Anybody?
Yes, exactly. Hell, I mean, I just watched Zach Wilson playing for the Dolphins as their primary backup for a half yesterday. And I'm just like, he sucks, but he's
Right.
still here in the
You're
league,
right.
getting checks,
Right.
and nothing, more power to you. Keep cashing them checks. But man, it just used to be like
Case
a
Keenum.
bust out. Yeah, I mean, yeah, exactly. Well, Jamarcus Russell was not getting another job once he busted out.
Right.
You know what I mean? Johnny
Right.
Manziel didn't get another job once he busted out. Like it was
Right.
like people used to just completely bust. And now, even if they're good quarterbacks in college, now they'll make it to the league. What's his name? Quinn Ewers is the third string quarterback here for the Dolphins, and he sucks. He's kind of sucked in college too, but college covered it up. But he's going to be in the league for 15 years, man, backing up and making millions of dollars. So whatever. Anyway, all right, y'all. So today, as we set the show, if you're on YouTube, you can follow along. Uh, we're gonna talk about the preseason loss to the Eagles backups, which wasn't great.
But we were winning. The starters were winning.
Yeah, well, against their backups on
Right.
defense.
Right.
But
Right.
yeah, all right. So we got some weekly stories here. Jermain Burton went AWOL allegedly. We're gonna get a reappearance of a favorite character of our podcast. Also, there's an oops sack with Shamar Stewart and Joe Burrow. It led to a fight, the first fight of training camp. Our O line is trash still. Zach Taylor's quote yesterday was, "It's a work in progress." I'm like, man,
Uh,
yeah. And then
Update your resume.
the defensive line and meat, and I'll explain that when we get to that particular version of this part of the podcast. And then at the end, we'll do a week's preseason look ahead. And as I'm going through some of this stuff as we get closer to the end, Hodge, look to see if you could find anything on the Commanders actually playing their starters, because yesterday was weird because a lot of people didn't. Like, even though it's the real prep game now for the preseason, where it used to be three and then nobody played in four, but 3 games now, two is that, and a lot of players or a lot of teams did not play their starters. You talked about Michael Penix. Dolphins didn't play Tua yesterday, and I watched that. So yeah, it'll be kind of curious to see if the Commanders even play their people. But all right,
Mm-hmm.
let's jump into it. I'm on slide. Here we go. All right. So here we go. So the Bengals lose to the backups, the Eagles backups 34-27. First team offense absolutely dominated the Eagles backups. Two drives, two touchdowns, one a very familiar looking throw and run and catch by by Jamar Chase, where one person misses and then he jogs into the end zone where it looks like he's jogging, but ain't nobody catching him.
Right.
Two possessions, two touchdowns. Offensive line looked good-ish against
Ish.
their backups. Yeah, ish. But the first team defense, and then they were all out there essentially besides Trey Hendrickson. Geno Stone pulled up lame, the starting safety on like the third play of the game with a hamstring injury, which we'll talk about here in a bit too. 34-point backups. Their backup quarterback looked like Johnny Unitas, John Elway. I mean, he looked amazing. Like this dude, they didn't play him last night as their backup, probably because they're thinking about trading him. I have no idea because somebody would see that dude in the past and would have traded first round draft, the Scott Mitchell type situation. And he just absolutely shredded the Bengals starters minus Trey Hendrickson. And this game looked very familiar, Hush. Offense scoring at will, defense couldn't stop anything.
Right, couldn't. Right, awful.
Yeah, I mean, just absolutely awful. I mean, what were your thoughts? Did you see any of it? Highlights? Anything?
I just saw the highlights. I'm not that big on preseason games, but if I had the time and the whatever to put together a poster, it would be freaking Young Guns with old boy was saying to all quarterbacks, the Bengal defense can make you famous.
Yeah. I mean, there is that. We'll deal with them in a second. I guess to deal with the positives first. Again, the offensive line, again, it's against the Eagles' backups. They look okay. You know, there were a couple of whiffs with Lucas Patrick, which we'll talk about here momentarily. But for the most part, he was able to get the ball out on time. He wasn't hit at all in that game. In the 2 drives that he was there, and they threw it a lot. Chase Brown looked good running the ball. The receivers are the receivers. I think he went 10 of 11 in the 2 drives that he actually played. Joe Burrow, meaning he. Too many pronouns, pal. And
he was what, 9 to 10 or something?
I think it was 10 or 11 or 9 or 10, something like that. I mean, he was Joe Burrow. So again, the offense isn't going to be a problem as long as they can keep him upright. But that's an asterisk because will they be able to keep him upright? Right. Yeah. Will they be able to keep him upright? Because the Bengals and the offensive line we're going to talk about here momentarily. Just it's a house of cards, you know, like it really
thin cards.
Yes, there's really no real backups there. And again, I don't want to do too much O-line stuff or whatever, but then the defense in that game, man, it was the same problems just outside of the highlights. You know, like the defensive line, I mean, there's holes, like people are running through massive holes. When they were getting to them, you know, it's the Ray Horton principle. They were hitting them and tackling them, but they were 12 yards downfield. Yeah,
right.
You know, so they're way down the field by the time somebody's making contact, and that's a problem. You know, right. I mean, you got both. You have your primarily again your starting defensive line out there minus Trey Hendrickson, but Trey Hendrickson ain't gonna be
he is not the savior.
Yeah, he's not gonna be stopping the run. So, like, you know, your defensive tackles didn't necessarily play well. Your linebackers played well, but again, they're making tackles way down the field. How do you feel about this? And I get, you know, sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. There would be 2 questions of the same thing. One, well, they were playing vanilla defense or whatever. They didn't want to show too much because, you know, they got a game less than a month against the Browns, new defense coordinator. They didn't want to show too much. And so they were playing vanilla, and this is why they looked that bad.
Vanilla has flavor.
Yeah. Where do you stand on that? Do you think it's true? Or, you know?
Right. So, I mean, yes, vanilla defense is fine, sure, but you still should be inside the TV screen when you try to cover somebody.
Right. Yeah.
Or you should, I mean, at least, I mean, when somebody opens up a hole, and I mean, there ain't nobody till the second level.
Right.
I mean, that's a problem. And this is your quote unquote starters.
Mm-hmm.
You should be a couple of steps better than the other team's backups.
Right. And then the other side of that is like, why y'all running vanilla when you have a completely different defensive coordinator? So you're gonna start running the real shit with live bullets? That's probably not a great idea either. You know what I mean? Like,
but Grant, you don't want to give away anything to Cleveland, but guess what? Cleveland knows.
Right. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, I'm always torn on that. Like, well, you know, they're playing the vanilla, whatever. And then the other part of that is too, like, does the preseason really matter? Like, one of your best quotes on this thing is from this podcast is preseason don't matter, but it do. But does this matter? Like, oh, I watched that whole game for the most part. I'm like, man, that defense looks terrible. But it's still preseason. Does it matter?
It it don't matter until it do, but it just right. So Joe Burrow looks great in preseason. It probably will translate to the regular season.
Yeah.
Our defense looks bad in preseason. That's probably going to translate to the regular season too.
Yeah. And again, the biggest thing that we've been talking about, they don't have to be great, just be average. And you gave up 400, I think, and 30 some odd yards and 34 points to a bunch of backups. Like, again, it wasn't all their starters out there, obviously, during that time, but their starters against their backup offensive line and backup quarterback and running backs and all of those others, none of their dudes played. And they were moving the ball at will up and down the field.
It looked like it was pitch and catch.
Yeah, it was not a good performance. Nothing that would give you confidence.
And then the injuries too. I'm like, yee.
Yeah,
I don't know what the hell we're gonna do in the cornerbacks or the defensive backfield.
Nothing that would give you any confidence that this was going to be any real difference than last year. So, all right. We'll get to preseason game 2 preview here near the end. Let's move it forward and see what's going on with the weekly news for the Bengals. Oh, Hutch, Conspiracy Brother made his way back to the podcast.
Hey.
Yes, all right. So coming out of that,
the white ball has to knock out the black ball at the end.
Yes, exactly. Coming out of the Bengals game at the next practice or whatever, Jermain Burton wasn't there. We give him his background. He's a 3rd round pick last year, 1st round talent, undrafted free agent brain. He comes into the league. The Bengals are really happy with him. He comes in. TJ Houshmandzadeh is his mentor. There's all the things for him to be successful in this particular offense. Again, I will say this to the end of time. Had he come in and been essentially anything, there ain't no way, no how that T. Higgins is on this team. Like, at all. They weren't going to pay that money. This was the T. Higgins replacement. But his penchant for hanging out late at night, not paying rent, going to the casinos, dating underage girls. Like, I mean, he was like Ray Malug on steroids, Hutch. You know what I'm saying? And he allegedly turned it around in the offseason because obviously the threat of being cut and kicked out of the league. He was essentially doing the Chad Johnson, being at the facility all the time, essentially sleeping and drinking there. And, he was doing everything right. And then he returned punts in that game and kickoffs in that game. He had a really good punt return, I believe. And then he didn't show up to practice that next day. And everybody's like tweeting about it, like, Jermain Burton not here, Jermain Burton not here, not on the rehab field. Like, what's going on? Like, where's Jermain Burton or whatever? And then after practice, the Bengals were like, oh yeah, he had an injury. Something was going on with his knee or whatever. And then, he gives out the notes app thing, essentially like, y'all are dragging my name through the mud or whatever. I was hurt. And then, subsequent practices, he's out on the rehab field. And I think he actually practiced full yesterday. Mm-hmm. Conspiracy Brother would say, this is some bullshit. Conspiracy Brother would say, like, he should have been out on the rehab field, or hey, somebody would have said, like, hey, Jermain got hurt in the preseason game last night, like, whatever. Like, is this is Conspiracy Brother making too much out of this, or this is one of them double secret probation? Something happened, and we're gonna just hide the injury or whatever. Maybe it wasn't that serious. Maybe he paid the rent or whatever. But something happened, and we just need to cover it up because we don't want to cut.
Yes, this is conspiracy all day. he fucking up, and I don't know. I mean, we grew up in that area. You think it's a big town. You 6 foot something, black. You stand out.
Yeah.
And you can't pay your rent in Cincinnati.
Yeah.
2 times.
Yeah, 2 different spots.
Right. Yeah. You got a problem.
Yeah. this seems fishy to me. I was like, and you know me, you've been around me, and you know me obviously well. I'm generally not conspiracy brother. This seems a little bit off. Like, especially if y'all know or the Bengals know that people, if he's not showing up to practice, it's going to be a problem. They'd be like, oh yeah, the wide receiver coach, the assistant wide receiver coach, the videographer couldn't have been like, oh no, he hurt his knee last night or whatever. He's he's getting treatment. Oh, okay, and that's it. No, they didn't do that shit until practice was over.
Right.
Like that seems like y'all were getting your stories together to make sure
Right.
that all the bases was covered.
That's right.
This is a
This
definite
is
conspiracy, brother.
right. This is aliens crashing Roswell. Next day, no, it's a weather balloon.
Yeah, it is. I mean, he had one catch, I think, for 3 yards in the preseason game. I mean, he's essentially the fifth wide receiver on the depth chart at this point because Charlie Jones has passed him up, and Charlie Jones can return punts and kicks. He's one of I don't know, I saw something like maybe 7 dudes ever in NFL history that has a kickoff return and a punt return for a touchdown. And he's making plays. He's our Wes Welker at this particular
He shows
time.
up right. He's right. He's right. He's a gym rat.
Yeah,
all that.
So now, if you're fighting for, fifth or sixth wide receiver spots, I mean, I don't. There's no way in the world that he gets cut, and there's no way they could stash him on the practice squad because he'll get picked up.
Mm-hmm.
But man, he's going to be a whole bunch of, game day inactives at this particular time. And he's a 3rd-round pick last year. You need some sort of contribution from this man who has all the talent in the world going into year 2. You do.
Chris Henry again? Oh.
Well, yeah.
I mean,
Chris Henry produced on the field, though.
The parallels between the 2005s and 2025 are just amazing.
Yeah, Chris Henry produced though.
Chris Henry produced, but he was also he had his moments.
Yeah, he was a terror in the streets them first couple of years. That's for sure. Yeah, I don't know. This just didn't seem right. Like I said, he sent out the notes app thing, and it was like, oh, I was like, well, one, you clearly hired a PR person, which is probably a good thing, or the Bengals PR person did that notes app for you because.
Right. You know the Bengals got, well, maybe they got somebody following them around. Or I mean a hoosh.
Yeah.
I mean the dude he got right. He making enough money to not be in the news.
Yeah.
But him whatever is in the news too much.
Yeah. He seems like an ample trade candidate for a team that's desperate for a wide receiver. And maybe y'all got an offensive lineman y'all want to swap out for some reason.
I mean, the Raiders got their problems with running or wide receivers. Mm-hmm. The Chiefs got their wide receivers going to jail after the season. Right. I mean, trouble. You don't need that much trouble. Right. And wide receivers are the one thing the colleges are putting out left and right.
That's for sure. Right. Especially if this dude again, obviously T, Jamar, Yoshi, there's your top 3 people right there. And now Charlie Jones, and then you're the 5th wide receiver. You might not be a game day active.
And I mean, right, both tight ends when healthy should be D's.
Right, yeah, no offense.
Receiver, I mean, the running back should be even that other running back that's raising up the charts. D's. You about to be. About to be 11 out of the top 10.
Yeah, he's definitely racing towards a game day inactive if something doesn't change. So, but yeah, all right, yeah, I'm just making sure I wasn't the only conspiracy brother on this particular
you're not the only one.
Perfect. All right, let's move on. Oops. Sack. One of the other news stories from this week during Wednesday's practice, and we're going to pull it up here, if you're on YouTube, that you won't be able to see the sack, but you'll see the almost versions of that particular sack. Yeah. The backstory of this particular thing, Bengals offensive line, not doing great. Let's do that first.
Can I put the song out? The song for this week is "Oops, I Did It Again."
Okay, I got you. Okay. Let's do this part, and this is coming from Bengals media and other media as well. Shamar Stewart might be a beast. And the Bengals need it, that's for sure. They need that to actually happen. Again, you have to balance this against that he's going up against, not a great offensive line, but it feels like, they might have gotten a diamond in the rough here, yeah, at pick 17, just because his production wasn't there in college. But he's a different level athlete. I think I mentioned on the last pod, like, his RAS, his relative athletic score is up there, with that dude from the Browns. Like he's an elite athlete. And, he just has to be able to, put it together, experience, and all those types of things. And then again, if the Bengals get 80% of that dude, like that's amazing. And so he's been dominating in practice, and we'll get to the preview there. He's going to be getting first team reps here now that one of Hutch's favorites, Miles Murphy, is out again with an injury. And so he's going to be there. So in this particular practice or whatever, he is going to beat
the shit.
I don't know. One of the guards. I want to say it was Lucas Patrick, but I don't really know. And
right. He beat the whole ass offensive line.
And then he's going to get a little bit off kilter here. He's going to get a little bit off.
I think it threw him off. He was so wide open. He was like, "Fuck."
Yeah. He gets a little bit off kilter. And again, if you're on YouTube now, you can kind of see it. I'll make it a little bit bigger here. This is coming from James Rapine's Twitter feed, Sports Illustrated. Kind of falling in towards Joe Burrow there, and then you're going to see the fight. Yeah, I mean, he kind of falls. He hits Joe Burrow, and it's going to lead to this fight. Yeah, between the person there, the offensive line.
Look at that hole.
Look at this. Yeah, I mean, yeah, somebody misses the twist. Yeah, and that is Lucas Patrick.
They missed every good gravy in the morning.
Yeah, so Lucas Patrick gets mad, and then he should be mad at himself. That he,
Olayed.
Yeah, that he Olayed or whatever, and he takes, and they start fighting with Shamar Stewart. They get into a football fight. I sent this out into the group chat or whatever. Like, football fights are freaking useless too. Which one is more useless, a football fight or a
hockey fight?
No, hockey fights are for real. What's more useless, a football fight or a baseball fight? Like, what are y'all doing? Nobody's really fighting here.
But I mean, everybody in hockey and football, they're all armored up.
Yeah, exactly. But football, I mean, hockey, they dropping hands like for real and throwing hands. But yeah,
if I got a helmet on in my whatever, I'm good.
Well, so people are more upset at Shamar Stewart for unintentionally running into Joe Burrow, where y'all should be super upset that Lucas Patrick whiffed on a freaking twist and would have gotten his quarterback absolutely killed if he
that wasn't a deep pass. That was like a 7-10 yard out. Right. So I mean, that was a couple of seconds.
Yeah. So, and again, this slide is going to lead into the next one or whatever. Shamar Stewart didn't talk to the media that day after it happened because he knew everybody was going to ask about it. Right. Ted Karras was like, hey, well, we got to be better. Like, but he was talking more about the offensive line, not necessarily about, Shamar Stewart not doing well.
Right.
And which is both true too. Again, yes, you don't hit the quarterback, but again, he was off. He would have had to throw himself on the ground too, which I guess is what you need to do because obviously you don't want to damage the groceries, and you got to just do better. And then when he did talk to he did speak to Joe Burrow, Shamar Stewart, and he's like, hey, we're fine, do it on Sundays, against obviously the other team, and that was the end of it. But this was a big deal because it had happened, and again, Shamar Stewart's gonna have a little bit of
growing pain.
Well, he's gonna have a little shit on him still because of the holdout. People are gonna be looking for reasons to be mad at him too. Fans, I mean, not necessarily the team. And so, this just kind of came to a head, and whatever. The bigger issue is that the offensive line sucks, huh?
Right. Yeah. I mean, history repeats itself. When I saw it and heard about it, I mean, it was like I said, where were you when 9/11. When was Joe Burrow got hit on as practice? Like, what the fuck? Huh? What? Who?
Yeah.
What? So the first thing that came to my mind was that David Pollock hit before the Steeler game in 2005. Was back to the like he racked the hell out of the former number 9.
Right.
And there's like, and everybody got upset at him, and then the next thing you know, that playoff game.
Yeah, I mean, and I just think that people, fans, aren't just I don't put us in this particular category because I think we're relatively like
balanced.
sane. I think we're relatively sane. Like I don't think that we are. I mean, we got some hot takes. Obviously, everybody does, but I don't think that we're like that. So
the man was doing his job.
Right. This is a non-issue. Right. Yeah, This is a non-issue. If he gets hit, it's a problem for the offensive line. It's not really a problem for Shamar Stewart. If you don't want him to hit him, then block him.
Right. I mean, right. I don't know how you could go 60% on that type of stuff. You gotta go. That's what Pollock said.
Right.
I practice how I play.
Right. And and then yesterday he also had a sack of Joe Burrow, another one. And I'm going to pull this one up too. You can see this one where he, beats. Yesterday, God almighty. Yesterday, Cody Ford is playing right tackle in this particular play, and Lucas Packers is at right guard. And, you can see that this doesn't go well. Like he just beats him completely around the corner. And then there's the other part of that where he goes around, and that's gonna happen. Cody Ford's a backup, and that's gonna happen. Like Shamar Stewart's a first round pick with ridiculous athletic talent. Like he's going to beat Cody Ford a good percentage of the time.
And that's Joe Burrow right there, right?
Correct.
Why in the Honda is Joe Burrow behind the 84 Edsel offense?
Yes, exactly.
Offensive line.
Well, and if you think about it, and you can see this is another twist. And again, people are, defenses have to be seeing whatever practice they can. But can you see what's happening to Lucas Patrick here, Hutch? It's in slow mo. Look at 62.
He is getting blown the fuck up.
Yeah, that's by Chris Jenkins,
right.
Second round pick last year. Who, again, to be fair, even though he went to school up north, he broke his hand or thumb in like the preseason. Like he was injured most of the season. And whatever word out of practice is that he's doing much better this year. Blah blah blah. Cool, great. He shouldn't be pushing this man down like he's on
one-handed.
This is not even roller skates. He's just literally he's manhandling him. Man, people say that. No, that is being manhandled with one hand.
That's being bitch handled.
Exactly. So, I mean, it did that arachnoid. Like, that's awful. I'm sorry.
And that's a starter, ain't it?
Yes.
That's our starter.
Yes. And he has been the problem, and it leads right literally into the next slide here. Like, we have to make this determination hold on, I'm going to stop that share. We have to make this determination.
Lucas Patrick.
Yeah. Okay. So
what is this, like a 5-second slide?
Man, listen, man. Okay, so everybody knew the guards were trash last year. Cordell Volson, bad. They whatever the rankings of guards between Cordell Volson and Alex Kappa, there's 64 starting guards or whatever. They were like in the
65 and 66.
Yeah, they were like in the 60s. They were that bad. Everybody knows. And there's a philosophical issue here with the Bengals, which we'll get to momentarily. So everybody's like, they need a guard, they need a guard, they need a guard. You got to get a guard in free agency. You need a guard, you need a guard, you need a guard. They draft, the Dylan Fairchild from Georgia, and all indications that was a good draft pick. Fine. Get another guard. You only had 6 draft picks. Then, they drafted 2 linebackers, only drafted 1 offensive lineman, and then they signed Lucas Patrick in free agency. He's 32. Like, he didn't allow any sacks with the Saints last year. Okay, he's 32. Nobody was clamoring to get Lucas Patrick when there were other free agent guards out there, and they just flat out didn't do it. They didn't do it. Again, there's a philosophical problem here with the Bengals and guards. They believe in signing tackles, which again, in the past, that was a thing. Like, most of the rushes were coming from the ends. But the league has changed to the point since so many people are in freaking shotgun all the time, you need to get pressure up the middle. And so that means your guards and centers need to be better. The Bengals don't believe in paying
The
guards.
defensive tackles these days,
Yeah.
especially the ones that come out of the SEC and whatnot,
Elite
them
athletes.
blankety blanks run 4, 5, 40s,
Exactly.
and they're 330 pounds.
Right. And they can get past your guard centers in seconds because
Right.
they're elite athletes. And
They
again,
are.
it's good to have good tackles. And I think we have two good enough tackles. I'm not a fan of Ted Karras. I know some people are. I am not.
I ain't.
So now you have like an absolute turnstile at the other guard spot. Like
Not just a turnstile. I mean, that's 7-Eleven open. I mean, if your guy's getting tossed
by Chris Jenkins,
in practice.
So
he about to go see Myles Garrett, or
on several twists. Yeah, I'm lining Myles Garrett over him.
Right.
Because, like, why am I like, I'm gonna try to get around them both of them 6'8" tackles? No, thank you. I bet I can get through the middle here and be in Joe Burrow's face within half a second.
Right.
Even in shotgun.
Right. Right. I'm all day.
So again, the Bengals philosophically, they don't pay guards. Eric Steinbach, Kevin Zeitler, you can go through the list. They do not want to overpay for a guard. And that is a philosophical problem because they don't think you can. They think you can just put anybody a guard because they think
guard used to be the position. If you can't make it a tackle,
right,
you're worthless guard, or you can a life in guard.
Yeah, you're the right fielder or the first baseman. Right. You can just be out there and hang out.
Right, just block or just blob there. Don't get tossed.
Exactly.
Like a damn judo throw.
Right. And so again, it's a work in progress with Zach Taylor's quote.
We got less than 20 days to work it out.
Correct. And now we have injuries. Volson, who sucks, is injured, and he would be like the backup for both tackle spot or both guard spots. Cody Ford, who clearly I have no idea why they're in love with this man. He could play either position in a pinch, but if he has to play for any extended period of time, they're screwed.
Right.
And so now you have, again, you're good at tackle, whatever you feel about center, and then Dylan Fairchild or whatever is whatever he is and through one preseason game. But right guard's a massive problem at this point. And so what do? Do you sign somebody? Do you trade somebody? You got to do something. I don't know if they were waiting on Brandon Scherf to see if he was going to decide, but then he decided he was going to retire. So that's not an option.
All right. Carmen Jackson's in Miami.
Jackson Carmen. But yeah, I watched him play yesterday. So this is bad. You got to do something. There's no way that you can roll this group out at this point, at all.
What are we gonna do? Because what can we do?
Yeah, it has to be some version of a free agent or some older dude that's out there that hasn't signed with anybody yet.
So this is what I was going to bring up. I guess it's a good time to bring it. What is the Burrow effect? Because the bring in these dudes that I'm just playing. I want to play for a contender. I want to play for a ring. Where are these dudes at?
Right.
Because and I'm still halfway good. And we need them dudes.
Yeah, and they want to get paid too, though. And the Bengals just there, we'll give you $1 million to play guard. And the offense is going to be passing 60% of the time. Man, no, thank you. I'm not going to be playing for that little bit amount of money. This is why you get Lucas Patrick. You know what I mean? The safety issue is a concern too. Geno Stone, I think he was back to practice yesterday, but he had a hamstring. He's not that great to begin with, and then there's no depth behind him. Right. Tyson Anderson, what? He's he'll be an all-pro on special teams, but you don't want him playing a bunch of safety snaps.
He's going to get a lot of practice, unfortunately.
You know what I mean? It's just
we are in hodl. We are in hodl.
Hold
on for dear life.
The Bengals do not address the margins, man. They just refuse to do it for whatever reason. Like these are those things. Like, okay, yeah, Lucas Patrick, if you had signed him to be the backup, but you had signed a frontline starter, this makes all the sense in the world. He can get you through a pinch of 2 games or whatever because he won't get exposed that much. But to have him as the starter and then have nobody like what the Jalen Rivers is the backup, the 5th round pick out of the University of Miami as your backup guard. Good luck with that. They have no swing tackles. Like if freaking Orlando Brown or God, the kid they drafted from Georgia last year, if they go down, they are completely screwed at tackle. Completely. Like I have no idea why they just refuse to protect Joe Burrow. By the way, the number 1 tier 1 quarterback, along with Patrick Mahomes in the league, as voted on by all these executives this week. You're gonna get him hurt again.
And I just did a fantasy draft. The number 1 overall pick in fantasy drafts is Mr. Chase. The quarter,
Jamar or the running? Oh, okay, yeah. Okay.
Yeah, the receiver.
Wow.
In the top 10 as a player was Mr. Burrow.
Right. Yeah. And so I don't know. It looks bad. It feels bad. And hopefully it doesn't end bad, on a Michael Jordan offensive lineman whiff like he did where he got his knee torn up against the then Redskins. So I don't know. This is almost hubris at this point. Like we know there's a problem and everybody's telling us it's a problem, but we're not going to do anything about the problem because y'all are telling us about it. You're just digging in for the sake of digging in. This feels like a Brown family issue. And because it's not like Zach Taylor doesn't know that, hey, we should sign somebody better than fucking Lucas Patrick.
Right.
So, okay. So the slide here is O-line trash versus, all right, Hutch, let's talk about your meat.
Oh, my
all right, wait, what? So, for those, again, if you're on YouTube, okay, so when you go to the grocery store, if you're not somebody who goes to the grocery store, maybe your wife does it, or I don't know, whatever.
Or somebody.
Yeah, somebody going to get your groceries, they're delivering for you, or whatever. If you go to get your beef, there's versions of your beef or whatever. You can eat healthier based on the level of fat, you know what I'm saying? Right. But you got to be able to pay for it too. Right. So, you might go get some ground beef like lean, like 93.7, it's going to cost you though. Or you could go 80-20, 20% fat, or you can, get way down because it's just cheaper, especially nowadays with the beef.
Don't buy a hamburger in a tube.
Yeah. Or 75-25, whatever. Yes. Whatever your beef is, that's fine. Okay. So what's the percentage, Hutch, between is our defensive line good?
Nope.
Versus is our offensive line bad? Like where are we at here? Is this a 50-50 situation? Are we 80-20? Where are we at with the meat, man?
I'm gonna use your analogy that you like to use. Them 10 or 11 dudes are the shortest midgets.
Okay. Yeah.
Or the tallest midgets.
Yeah.
Right, because when other teams play them or have to deal with them, their defense chews up our offense, and their offense is got holes, or they can throw with impunity. They can throw it, they can run it, they can do whatever they want.
Right.
So, yeah, that's what I see. And that was the team. Well, it's been the team defense since Mr. Bates left.
Yeah.
But yeah,
it's weird. It very much feels like, man, the defensive line might be a little bit better because the offensive line, I wouldn't say is necessarily worse. With Kappa and the other one gone, I don't think they're necessarily worse. So the defensive line is probably a little bit better. But, again, being the worst offensive line, and going from 32 to 30, you're still awful.
Yeah.
So
and remember the team that you played. I mean, granted, you made Baltimore is good. That's fine. Yeah. But I mean, the Giants, you played a whole bunch of horrible teams,
right?
And you were still 31st, 32nd.
Yeah, and that's That is, I don't know. I want to believe in the defensive line. Again, once Hendrickson gets back, and that's what I'm thinking. Like, man, y'all are struggling with blocking Shamar Stewart and Chris Jenkins without even in a passing situation, without even the threat of Hendrickson on the other side of the field.
And Vanilla too.
Yeah, and because if Hendrickson's on the other side of the field, he's commanding even more attention.
Right.
You know what I mean? So, like, and y'all are struggling. I mean, again, great. Maybe Shamar Stewart is, a freaking all-star or whatever. That's fine. But, man, y'all are struggling big time here. Right. So, what, I don't know. I don't know. 60-40? I mean, that's some terrible ground beef.
Right. You're right. You might as well switch it up to turkey.
Yeah, you'll go hit the cow yourself at this point.
Right.
And because, like, I don't even know.
Mad cow disease.
Yeah, that's the scariest part for me, both sides of the ball. Because, even with the offensive line being bad, they're still going to score, but they're not going to be able to stop anybody. Like, they're just flat out not going to be able to stop anybody. And now Sundays, again, are 34-31s. And that is...
Right.
And as a fan, is exhausting.
Right.
And as a fan of, knowing how the team is constructed, like, I wouldn't say entirely preventable, but way more preventable than you made it.
Right. So, I mean, right. Weren't we up against Baltimore twice, like by 10 points, and we still lost them game?
Yeah. I mean, and again, because even the game that was in Baltimore, like, you got to go for two. That's the only way. You cannot give them the ball back. They're going to go and score. It's like, you got to win the game here. It's over if you don't do this. Right. You have to. It's like, oh, well, we'll let the defense go out there and just no.
The Denver 4th and 25 or some crazy number.
So I don't know, man.
The worst of the worst really is we're about to go play them. Washington, where neither team punts the whole last game.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, wow. Yeah, and again, that's a good segue here. Go ahead and, like I said, if you can see anything out there, will I do the setup to see about this preseason game 2? Monday Night Football, full ESPN crew. Troy Aikman and whatever that dude's name is.
Mike Tirico? No.
Sunday is Joe Buck. I think so. Yeah, that's the Sunday night crew. That's the Monday night crew, right? That's not the Amazon crew. Yeah, that's Herb Street. Anyway, so they're playing the Commanders in Washington on Monday Night Football. So tomorrow night, the Bengals have announced that the first team offense is going to play just about as much as they did before, which is essentially a quarter. And so we'll get a chance to see the first team offense again. The defense will be in the same situation there. We'll talk about the injuries here momentarily. But yeah, that's pretty much where it is. So, you'll get a chance to see. But again, not knowing if the Commanders are playing their players, they'll be out obviously without Ohio State's Terry McLaughlin because he's in a contract dispute. But beyond that, if Jaden Daniels, they revamped their offensive line, because they didn't want to get their quarterback killed.
But their worst problem with their defense.
Yeah, but their defense was really bad. It was one of the teams that potentially the Bengals could have traded Trey Hendrickson for some draft capital. Again, it's a preseason game. Like, they talk about the Commanders and Jaden Daniels is going to be the second coming or whatever. I mean, we've seen so many rookie quarterbacks do what he did and then come back to earth. So I'm not ready to anoint him or anything like that, but it should be a good test if they do play for the defense to be able to figure out, I don't know, anything. So, that's where it is. Again, injuries piling up. Hutch's favorite, Miles Murphy, out. Geno Stone back at practice but not playing. Don't want to test, one of those soft tissue issues, which I think is a hamstring. But for the most part, the defense is going to be there. So I would imagine the starters on the defensive line would be Joseph Osai and Shamar Stewart. And, the tackles are going to be the same. And, you should be able to try to stop the run or whatever. Can we expect the defense to play better? If they play their starters, you're going against a fairly prolific offense. Can you just perform better? Even if you don't stop them, at least show that you're doing something more than you've been doing, And then Hutch, the question is, what is better? Don't give up 435 yards. You only give up 335. Well, that's a win, right?
It's a win, but right. I finished the marathon, but it took 2 days.
Yeah, I mean, golly, like I don't even know. I don't know. You
Larry
can't see any
Tunsil ain't playing.
tonsil, so maybe they don't put.
Zach Ertz ain't playing. Bobby Wagner ain't playing.
So that's part of their.
Von Miller ain't playing.
Yeah, so they're not gonna have their first team defense out there. And if Tunsil's not playing, do they risk Jaden Daniels out there? Like that's the thing. Like if
It says backup quarterback Marcus Mariota will not play for the team against the Bengals.
so, it might be their third string quarterback.
Right, and who might light us up like
who might light them up.
serious.
Yeah, so maybe Jaden Daniels plays a little, maybe first drive or whatever, something like that. But yeah, I don't know I don't even know what better looks like, honestly. Like they only gave up, only gave up 33 points.
Right.
One less point than whatever. All right, Hutch. So doing fake betting here.
Fake.
So the betting line, the Bengals are 3-point dogs. The total is 43.5. For the degenerate gamblers out there, if you are betting on preseason games,
you're
what's that at the end of all them gambling commercials? Gambling problems? Call 1-800 blah 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 blah.
Right. I'm gonna double up.
Yeah, if you gambling on preseason games, you have a massive gambling problem. But
I can't do it. But yeah,
our betting lines though. So I put this out in the chat before the other game, and none of them hit. So, all right. So if you had to take a guess here, Shamar Stewart half a sack. Would you take the over?
I'm gonna
take that.
I'm gonna take the under.
You're gonna take the under, so no sacks.
Mm-hmm.
So for Shamar Stewart, okay. Bengals defensive line over under 345 yards.
Over.
I'm gonna take the under there. I'm gonna take both bets. I'm gonna bet that he gets a sack because he'll probably be playing against some second stringers at some point, and he'll get through. And I'm gonna say the Bengals are gonna be a little bit better. They're less than
a little bit better. Whatever.
A little bit better. Yeah.
Right. A little bit
400
better.
yards. So I'm gonna take the under at 345. But man, that's barely.
Right. You want to talk about some bets that are already made. Whatever the I might have to go look again. Damn it! But basically, you can almost bet the over on every game as far as points.
Oh, for the Bengals, yeah, because they're gonna score, right? Yeah, you're not gonna be able to stop them eventually.
Right.
They're gonna score. I don't know what the average will be, but they're probably going to be in that 26 to 27 range.
They're going to be some 30-point games, easy.
Yeah. Right, and again, against average to bad teams, they'll win those games, which is what will get you to freaking 8 and 9 wins every single year.
Oh yeah, whatever the Detroit Bengal game is going to be.
Yeah, take the over.
Take the over.
Yeah. All right. Okay. So yeah, that's our preview for the game on Monday night. And yeah, man, I'd like to say I'm excited, but I'm not. I'm not. The defense definitely has me completely freaked out.
Right. The game ticket or whatever is 8 payments of $35 for the season. Jeez. I'm like, that's damn near $300.
Yeah.
And I'm like, it could be real interesting after we get out of September.
Right. I don't know if they are practicing today. If it would be coming up here at 10 or 11 o'clock, because today would be a travel day, so they should not be practicing. Yesterday would have been the last day. So, all right. So that's it. So we'll be back after. We'll be back after this game, not necessarily right after, but we'll try to record on our weekly schedule here to recap that particular game or whatever happens. More than anything, everything is knock on wood that nobody, particularly on offense, gets injured. Like that's just
and for anybody to get hurt.
Well, that's also true. But yeah, that's that. We'll get a chance to see Noah Fant, new tight end acquisition. He's going to play on Monday night as well. Mike Gesicki's still not playing, soft tissue injury. Again, nobody has any major injuries, and even the Miles Murphy injury, He said he might be out a week, or Coach Taylor said he might be out a
Steve.
week. So, but again, at this point, he needs snaps, and he needs snaps. You need the experience to prove that you can do something, anything. And again, if Trey Hendrickson is not signed, you're going to be a starter at this particular time, and that's kind of scary too. So, it is what it is. And yeah, okay. So again, you'll be able to find this podcast on SoundCloud, Apple Podcast, and wherever. If you just put in Who They Over 40, it'll come up. And that's about all I got. So the exit music on the podcast side is Oops, I Did It Again by crazy ass Britney Spears. Yeah, that's a whole nother topic for me. I feel so bad for that lady, honestly. Like, talk about people.
But she does it to herself too.
Well, but I think people clearly
have exploited her.
Yeah, pushed her out there for
All
the
right.
money that they could exploit off of her.
All right.
And yeah, that's not good. That's never good. I mean, we've seen this story play out. They need to bring back behind the music for sure. And because she would definitely be a star on whatever season it would be.
She's about to be in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, so yeah, all that stuff.
That's a different kind of podcast too. All right. So anyway, yeah. So again, we're gonna go ahead and sign off as producer. Hutch, go ahead and sign off as Britney. I don't think Britney Spears has ever played us out on any of the 500 podcasts.
They can also do that circus song too. But yeah, take care.
All right, everybody. We'll see you on the other side. Peace.
Peace.
Okay. So I'm gonna pause. Hey, how you guys doing?
Thing off of there. Fuck them.
Producer for Brothers Comics. Welcome to our the dreaded schedule game by game podcast. This is it's a trope essentially at this point, as all teams, fans, whatever, go over
just
each
like
individual game,
picking the draft or
yes.
And all that
it's almost like an obligation to go and do this every single season.
Right.
And sometimes you're closer to right, and again, as I explain to you all the time, nobody knows hardly anything about the NFL because injuries play such a role, and like team dynamics.
All these dudes are getting paid a lot of money.
Right.
So it's every game is decided by 7 points or less darn near. I mean, even the bad games usually are close. Yeah. So you really never know. You can go. That's Vegas. All the people that own Vegas and all these casinos all drive big ass cars.
Yeah, and probably more than any other team sport, team dynamics in the NFL determine so much of what actually happens, because whether it be a contract dispute or dudes that are just unhappy, the offense is good, but the defense is bad, or vice versa, where it creates all this, y'all can't stop nobody. Y'all can't score. Like, it will sink a team and a coach. Like, it only takes a couple of things, and a team that was supposed to be good, not good. Or like one injury that it doesn't really matter that they lost their starting, center. Yeah, well, the backup center is awful, and it made everybody else awful, and now everybody's back. You know what I mean? Like, it's paper.
Anybody who had the Eagles win the Super Bowl last year,
right? It is so paper thin, and again, against all other team sports or whatever. Like, if LeBron went down or Luka went down, which he did yesterday, but they're still gonna win games because it's still the Lakers. Like, it wouldn't like fall apart completely. Right. But like, if freaking Jaden Daniels goes down, God forbid, or whatever, like the Commanders are going to be drafting in the lottery. Like, yeah, I mean, it's so paper thin in the NFL. So, but we're going to do it. We've always done this. It'll be Hutch and I, and then we'll mix in later what the predictions were for the Sandman and for Goat Kill or whatever.
I can't believe this. I can't believe the season's 3 weeks away already.
Yeah, it's here on us right now. All right, so here we go. If you're following on YouTube, you'll be able to check this out from the start here. I am, for the first time in 2 years, I am not going to the home opener, which would be the Jaguars. So week 1, Hutch, at Cleveland, 1:00. What you got? Huntington Bank Field. What the hell is that?
That is
something else. I hate naming rights, by the way.
Naming rights, take some money.
Yeah.
I'm going to say, I say we win, because I don't know who the Browns quarterback is.
Yeah, neither do they. I also will say it's going to be a win. I watched Shadur last week and I watched Dylan Gabriel yesterday. They both, again, we talked about it on the previous pod. Like these rookie quarterbacks now, like I don't freaking know. But what it's going to be like with live bullets playing Cleveland in Cleveland like we did 2 years ago, where Burrow was hurt with the calf strain or whatever. And, bad things have happened to the Bengals in Cleveland recently. But I mean,
this
I think
the one team out of the
yeah.
North that we have a decent record against in the last 6 years.
And it would have been great if their freaking defensive end had gotten traded like he should have been, but that didn't happen. So I'm gonna take a W here as well. Scores and all that I have no idea, but I'm gonna take a W there for them to start the season off 1-0, only for the second time in the Zach Taylor era in 6 or 7 seasons.
If he loses it,
yeah, we're in a problem.
Yeah.
All right. The home opener, 1:00 against the Jacksonville Jaguars in Cincinnati. I'll go first here. I'm going to take a W here, just because I think the Jags are a little bit in flux as well. I know Travis Hunter is going to be a big story for that, but like that's just the Bengals. They open it up in orange again, like they did last season as well. They're going to be hyped, especially if they do win. But even if they lose, I would still take this one here because they're going to be fired up because they lost.
Most sure bet.
Yeah.
In September,
Right.
But I wouldn't put everything on this one.
Yeah, I wouldn't put anything on it, to be honest with you. All right.
Right, but yeah, this is what we got. I mean,
you got to win.
We got to win.
Yeah, all right. I hear you. All right. Week 3 at the Vikings. Always tough to go to Minnesota and play. Their quarterback sucks. Their second wide receiver, Jordan Addison, he's suspended for this particular game. I said to Goat Killer the other day, as much as I love Jetta and I think he's great, I think he may be a little injury prone too, soft tissue and otherwise. Just because that he's just like T. Higgins in the sense, tall, lanky, like those dudes, man. They just something about them hamstrings and ankles, and so he's not playing in the preseason because he has an injury as well. But it is at home against Minnesota. I don't know what to expect in that regard, so I'm going to take an L here. What do you got?
That's interesting. If we lose to J.J. Hardy, I mean, if J.J. Hardy puts up 300 yards against you,
yeah,
I mean he sucks.
Yeah, you know what? I'm going to change that only because you brought up them against bad quarterbacks. So yeah, I'm going to take a W there. You taking a W there too? Is that what it is?
If Jay, this will be I'm saying we win it.
Okay, all right. So we both got them starting. Both got them starting 3-0, and then Monday Night Football after that at the Broncos. Again, how you feel about Bo Nix? But it is in Denver, a very difficult place to play. Right. Although Joe Burrow, he love a primetime game too. And again, it ain't been his fault that they've lost the last couple of them. That's for sure. So what do you got here?
This is one where I say we lose.
Okay. Yeah, that would have been my thought as well.
Just because you want to talk about history and horrible with the Broncos at Denver.
Sure. In Denver, for sure. Yeah. Okay. All right. So we got them 3-1 at the first quarter mark. Moving on to the second quarter mark. The game that you said take the over here. Detroit in Cincinnati, 4:25 start. Bengals versus Lions. Cats versus Cats. I know people believe in the Lions or whatever. I think their coach is full of shit. I think their team is built on a freaking house of cards too, because you're so dependent upon Jared. They are a very NFC Bengals situation, but obviously with a different tier of quarterback by far. Right. But I just think that, they got exposed a little bit, like with their defense. Again, they had injuries. Nobody's going to deny that part about it.
They were getting exposed before.
And then they got exposed in the playoffs for being frauds too. Right. So I'm going to take the Bengals here in one of them 45-40 games, but I have them winning here.
I have the Lions can run, pass like nobody's business, but they can't stop nobody.
Right.
So this is going to be a 75, 80 point game between two teams. I'm taking the win.
Okay. All right. Week 6 at the Packers. I guess this is how much you believe in Jordan Love. I don't think Joe Burrow has ever played in Green Bay at this point, so that'll be a first.
Right. This
You know,
is Green Bay is one of the teams he hasn't beat yet in his
yeah,
career.
and it's also, I mean, again, that's one of those, man. I don't know anything about him. Historically, remember Marvin Lewis used to own the NFC North. Like he would just absolutely win all of these games. Like I don't know what it was about the NFC North, but he was. I don't know what it was about Marvin Lewis in the North, man. But yeah, it's I don't, whatever. It's 4:25, so it's going to be a national game again. Joe Burrow again. It's not going to be too cold there yet in October the 12th.
Right.
I'm probably going to take a W here too.
I'm gonna say we're gonna lose this game.
Yeah, it's going to be a big letdown game after whatever happens the week before. That's fine. I can see that happening too. All right. Week 7, Steelers at home. If I can scroll down, I think they're gonna. The Aaron Rodgers is a cancer thing.
Is
Now,
real.
again, if the Steelers, if there's any team that can withstand all of his bullshit or an organization, it's the Steelers. Like it is. But man, he is a whole cancer, man. Like he disturbs everything.
He's Russ times 10.
Yes. You're thinking Russ like Wilson. I'm thinking no, Russ like Westbrook. Like he comes in and he just destroys everything. Even though he might be a good player, he commands so much time, attention, and energy. It's just exhausting.
He's a cancer. They're already going at it.
Right. Like Joe Burrow does not fear the Bengals. The Bengals are afraid of the Steelers. Them days have been over. Yeah, like all the respect that Marvin paid to them, like it's over.
But they're a professional franchise
with a good defense.
If anybody can win, and with all them distractions, it's them.
Yeah, I'm still taking the Bengals here because it's in Cincinnati. And that's a Thursday night game after the Packers game too, so that should play into that as well. You know,
who did Pittsburgh play before us?
Yeah, you'd have to look. Okay, I don't know, but that's tough. That's tough. What do you think about this one?
I'm taking the L.
Okay, so now you got them at 4-3
or something.
Yep, I got you. Jets, absolute dumpster fire.
Absolute.
At home, you know, we don't want to see our boy, you know, do well in this particular game. But they're dumpster fire. I'm taking a W here as well, and I got them at
win. Yeah.
Okay, so you got them at 5-3. Jets could be historically bad, and again, you know,
that's a damn problem.
Harrison High School, Ohio State product. You know, I want him to do well, but I don't think that it's in the cards for him like that, like to lead a franchise. I just don't think that he's that dude, especially in New York.
This ain't good.
Yeah,
but the Steelers play the Browns and then they play us.
Where, in Pittsburgh or in Cincinnati? In Pittsburgh or in Cleveland?
It's at Pittsburgh.
At Pittsburgh. Okay, so they're there, and then they don't have they do have the short week too. So
yeah, they got a short week too.
Yeah. Okay. Well, yeah, it'll be interesting. Okay. The freaking Steelers. The Browns are the only team. They beat everybody in the North but us last year. So 0-2 against us, but they split. But they split with both the Ravens and the Steelers. So yeah, I don't know. I have no idea. All right. Hosting the Bears the next week. The same situation as before. Their quarterback is better than people say that he is, but the Bears are a bad team and organization.
Right. If we lose to the Jets or the Bears, somebody got to go.
Okay. So you have them at 6-3 at this point. I have them at 8-1. That's weird. All right, here we go. At the Steelers, Sunday Night Football. I'm taking the L there.
I gotta get a win. Damn it, we go to their place and win.
Okay. All right. So I'll take the L because it's at Pittsburgh or whatever. And again, we're getting late into the season where he's going to be making his run to finish 8-8 again.
Right.
So,
and we get off a bye too.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying though? Like he's gonna be this is that time of year where they start to go running through things and oh wait, we gotta win this game to make it meaningless. Week 12 Patriots. This is the game that I'm probably going to consider going to and bringing my bad mojo. So if I go, I'm taking the L. If I stay at home, they're gonna win. So
they bet right there. Dumpster fire.
Yeah, a little bit.
There's Stephon Diggs is there. Jermain Burton.
Well,
with more money and problems.
Yeah. Travion, no, love Travion. My boss next to me is a Patriots fan. He's like, Travion Henderson, he's great. I'm like, yes, he's a great football player. He's actually a better person than he is a football player. Y'all did well getting that, but your quarterback sucks, and you have no wide receivers. So
he might be suspended by the time week 12.
Yeah, exactly. So all right. So yeah, you're taking a W here too. All right. So at the Ravens, the annual, 3 or 4 years in a row now at the Ravens Thursday night football game. Right. They just love sending the Bengals to do this over the holidays.
Thanksgiving.
Yeah, exactly. I'm gonna take an L here because that's what's happening.
Ain't that Thanksgiving?
It is.
Holy mackerel! We got another Thanksgiving game.
And another short week.
Fuck.
Another short week, exactly. Yeah. Let's go on the road to Baltimore. You look up their schedule to see who they're playing. That's probably
if we got any chance of winning the North,
yeah,
we gotta win this shit. Mm. This is our playoff game. They're all playoff games, but this is our. Are we going to win the division? Are we going to be
wild cards?
5th, 6th, or 7th in the
playoffs? At this point in time, you have them at 8 wins and I got them at 9. So they're only 1 win from probably making the playoffs here.
Right.
But this is a weird stretch here, and this is probably where it starts to get goofy. It's like, hey, they're going. Yeah, exactly. All right, so I'm taking an L for Baltimore. You are too, I'm assuming.
I am. Okay. Fuck.
Yes. At Buffalo in week 14, 2 back-to-back road games. You get the extra long time. The Bengals own the Bills. Like the Josh Allen. I think seeing Josh Allen pisses Joe Burrow off. Like he just, man, this man threw 25 touchdowns and won an MVP. The fuck? But yeah, I'm taking a win here.
I'm taking an L.
Really? I think
I don't want to, but we're gonna shoot our wad against Baltimore.
There could be we won that one and lost that one, kind of split. Right. Yeah, I agree.
Right. If we win either one of these games, we're a playoff team.
Right. And then you come back.
And we come right back.
Back to the Ravens. Yeah. Yeah, it's not great. It's not, and the scheduling people didn't do them any good. You gotta take the split. You gotta take the split. But I totally understand.
Split.
Yeah,
we should both of them last year.
Both of them they should have won. They had a field goal attempt to win one and a 2-point conversion to win the other one. The Ravens, they're going to Joe Burrow be licking his chops, but so does Lamar.
Right. Joe Burrow can stop Mahomes.
Yeah.
Right. Mahomes stops.
Mahomes stops Allen and Jackson.
Right. But we're owned by Jackson.
Yeah, but Burrow stops Allen.
Right. Burrow stops Allen, and Mahomes usually. Yep. Right.
Man, he doesn't have because I don't think Josh Allen has a win against Joe Burrow. I think he's 0-3.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, he does not have a win versus the Bengals.
So all right. All right. So then at the Dolphins, again, I live here.
Their coach should be fired by then.
Yeah, they are an absolute dumpster fire. They are 1-2 game losing streak from firing everybody. Right. So I'm going to take the L or W on this one, and you're taking that one as well. Okay. At Arizona, who the hell knows?
Aaron Murray should be benched.
Yeah, by then they probably. Yeah, again, there's somebody. They always start off hot too, and then they just fade at the end. And this is the next to
right.
last game of the season.
Murray should be done. They should be playing for draft picks.
Right. Okay. And then the end of the season against the Browns in Cincinnati.
This is
be a W as well.
Whoever coach loses this. I mean, if the Bengals are playoff bound, then they ain't worried about nothing. If the Bengals need this game and lose, then our coach is fired.
Right.
And the Browns coach is probably fired no matter what happens too. So at least 2 coaches are getting fired in the AFC North.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So the round out totals, I have them at 14-3, which is insanity. And that, you take off 2 wins, 2 losses added or whatever. So you call it 11-5, 11-6, or 12-5, 11-6. You got them at 11-6. So, which is probably closer to the reality of the situation. If they're 14-3, that means the defense is significantly better, and they're probably not only a playoff team, but they're probably a contender. Right.
Or,
yeah.
So you're playing on Madden 26.
Right. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like that's the most. I mean, and again, I would not call me Mr. Optimistic Bobby here. Let's call it. I know that's a Goat Killer had them at 2, so it may be similar brains, but I'm not down with that. I'm not down with that.
11-6 is.
Yeah, I'm gonna.
Right. If Vegas got them winning 10.5.
Yeah, I'm going 12-5, just adjusting for inflation. And you got them at 11-6. I think that's probably doable. Right. I would take the over it. I would take the over at 10. You said 10,
and we both got them 3-3 in the North, or you got them at 4-2.
Yeah, I mean, I don't even.
I think I got them 4-2. If they both,
I don't know that it's important. I don't know that it's that important that they win a division. You know what I mean? Like, it is important, and again, it is important, but I don't think it's. When you have Joe Burrow, I don't think it's that important if he's playing like Joe Burrow.
The difference is that 6 or 7 seed going to. So I have the Texans winning the overall this
overall what?
Oh, the AFC. I mean, the having the best record in the AFC.
The Texans.
The Texans.
They can't protect their. C.J. Stroud almost didn't survive the end of last season, and they got worse on their offensive line. Almost to the point where I was thinking that they were maybe trying to get him killed so they didn't have to pay him.
Now that's funny. They're the AFC South is weak.
Well, that's for sure. Yeah.
The AFC South is weak, and I think they play who plays the NFC South.
No. I mean,
whoever plays the NFC South, the 3 teams get in on their division.
Wow.
So, and that's what happened to us 2 years ago.
Yeah,
last year.
But who could potentially be a playoff team that's in the AFC South outside of the Texans? The Jags? Maybe. Definitely not the Colts. No quarterback.
If you play in NFC South,
they have no quarterback. And the Titans aren't making the playoffs.
The Titans ain't making it, right?
So, again,
but I'm saying that that's 6 games that the Texans get.
Right. Yeah. Well, division games is always weird, but yes, I totally understand what the point there. I don't know.
So I just
DJ Stroud almost didn't survive the end of the season.
I think the Chiefs are on the way down.
Yeah.
The Bills could be set up to go to be the 1 seed.
Well, their division is awful too.
Right.
So, yeah. Literally the only hope is the Dolphins. Honestly, like their division is bad. Jets are bad. Dolphins are. Man. I keep saying it's a house of cards. That's a house of cards here. It's ready to explode. A bad start, and they're gonna fire their coach in the first quarter.
The Falcon or the South plays the NFC South plays the Bills and them. So that could be that's a problem. That Miami game is gonna be important. We gotta beat them.
Yeah, I don't think that the Dolphins will be in any sort of version of playoff contention at that point. I don't think that's a thing. Everybody got offensive line problems anymore. They got good starters and no backups. Sounds familiar.
Yeah,
So,
well, we ain't got no good starters.
well,
At
not
least
true.
outside of the
The tackles are
receiver and
good.
running back,
The tackles are good.
or receivers and the quarterback.
Yeah. Well, all right, y'all. So we'll come back with later on to see how well this is in terms of the
Put it in the
preview.
vault.
Yep, we got them all set, and we got to get our Sandman prediction. And like I said, Goat Kill is 14-3, so I'm changing mine to 12-5. I don't know which game it is, but I'm going to 12-5. We both got them getting off to a hot start, which has not been traditionally a thing
that's
under
scary,
Zach
man.
Taylor. So I think those first two games will probably give us a lot of indications on where it goes. If they split, it's now all bets are off at that point because it's probably bad because something bad happened in Cleveland. Yeah, something bad would have happened in Cleveland at that point.
Yeah, the Texans play the AFC West, so that could be interesting.
Oh yeah, so
the South plays the West.
Right, they get two playoff teams. What? Chiefs, Broncos,
or
Raiders,
the Chargers too.
Chargers too. 3 playoff teams. Didn't Chargers make playoffs? No, not this year. The year before. So yeah, it's interesting. Okay.
Chargers. Wait a minute.
Did Chargers make playoffs? I don't think they made playoffs.
The Denver made it.
Denver made it. Chiefs obviously made it.
Who was that? 17?
I think the Chargers did make the playoffs last year.
I think they did too.
Yeah. No. Interesting. Yeah, Coach Kakis is a cheater, but he can coach.
But right, right.
It's like Barry Bonds getting on. Yeah, it's like Barry Bonds getting on steroids. Like you were already a freaking Hall of Famer. All you did was just,
right. But guess what?
You didn't need to, but yeah, you were
right.
Already.
Hey, look, just win, baby.
Yeah,
our coaches be punching players.
Yeah.
Other coaches, whatever, and hiring wife beaters.
Yeah.
But how many rings I got?
Exactly. All right. So we'll be back. We'll put it in the vault. 3 weeks or so away or 4 weeks away, I guess, from kickoff of the NFL season. Who day, everybody? Let's hope these predictions turn out. Say good night, Hutch.
Good night, Hutch.
Peace, everybody.
Peace.